Even if they took quarters, that could be kind of cool.
Could you incorporate a fishing minigame into the button?
I don't see why not.
Fishing minigame.
I can't afford a random dance party right now, guys.
Put an accelerometer so you have to cast and you have to reel it in.
Could you spot me a dance party?
Yeah.
Wow. It's like I really want to dance, but
I'm a little light today, but I gotta get down.
Which one's tails?
Top up. The bus is tails.
Okay.
How did we decide?
Get a dance party on layaway.
Heads.
Bus was tails.
You got it.
Nice.
Yeah, the bus is the only thing.
I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a dance party today.
The only thing that I won at Coffee Pong was the coin flip.
The bus is the bus. The front is the logo.
Yeah.
The back is the bus. So the heads are the logo.
You looked really convinced of your own BS there for like a long time.
Yeah.
It's because it's not BS, Graham.
He honestly believes it.
It's real life.
What part of the bus is the tail, and how does a bus then not have a head?
I don't know. Have you ever seen a bus tail going out of the front of a bus? Graham, geez, keep up.
It's called a tailpipe, not a head pipe.
See?
Whoa, what's this?
So square.cube.
I'll take tailpipe. I'll take that as logic.
Yeah.
Square.cube comments in chat that there are still Canadian pennies floating around in America. There are still Canadian pennies sitting in a jar in a cabinet in every Canadian home.
Yeah, pretty much.
We bring them out to play Rummoli, and that's about it.
Nice Rummoli! That's so good! We used to place bets in Crokinole.
Matt, are you 1,000 years old?
That was terrific.
Rummoli.
That was really good.
There was a strong Rummoli current in my family line.
Please tell people what Rummoli is.
What is a Rummoli?
Okay, so
You come from a family of like Rummoli sharks?
all right.
On the point,
A family of
Yeah.
Rummolists?
Yeah, family of Romulus indeed. Okay, can we get a Rummoli board up on screen?
A
Oh, they're
Rummolus?
looking for one.
You're gonna have to tell them how to spell it.
Matt came from a long
Okay.
way.
so-
R-U-M-M-O-L-I.
Something like that, yeah. So Rummoli is a card game that is like it's a card board game. You play with a standard deck of cards, and you play with a board.
But it's not cribbage.
But it's not cribbage. So everybody,
No, it's a much larger, more unwieldy board.
yes,
You need a giant
it's
table.
like big octagonal board kind of thing. So everybody starts out
Ravioli
with 50
board?
coins, typically. We played with pennies because it was easy. There we go, got a Rummoli board coming out. So. And there's one in chat. So basically, at the beginning of the game, you count out 9 pennies from your pot, and you ante up 1 penny on each space on the board. Then you deal out the entire deck of cards, 1 hand for each player plus 1 spare hand that is unused. First round of the game is the dealer of the game can either keep their hand or they can take the spare hand. So and they get to look. So they can look.
It was unused.
Is it well?
Up until
One
this
hand
point.
goes unused in each game, but so the dealer looks at their hand, decides whether any of the cards in their hand match any of the spaces on the board, which are called pay cards because when you play them, you get to take the coins off that space. If they want that hand, then the second hand goes up for auction around the table.
Rummoli's a portmanteau.
Oh.
It's rummy and Tripoli.
Oh, that makes total sense.
I'm learning.
Yeah. So anyhow, the hand is either taken or put up for auction. When it is put up for auction, whoever wins it keeps that hand and discards their previous hand. Then you play 1 round of poker with the hands that you have, and that is like with full betting.
Pause, rewind, play.
Yeah.
What do you mean you play poker?
So just straight with the cards you have in
You
your
play a
hand.
sub game.
You play a sub. You literally
And then whoever
play a
wins the sub game,
poker.
it goes back to the real game of
with
Rummoli.
betting. So like you bet into the poker pot. Whoever wins that takes all the coins from the poker pot space.
If you have Scheherazade, and you play a game within that.
Yeah.
So then you play whoever wins the poker game then gets to go first for the remainder of the game, where they basically it's basically Rummoli, but it's basically like you play.
Did you just explain Rummoli being it's basically Rummoli?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's basically rummy. But you basically like count up through the suits and the numbers. Anytime you play a card that is visible on the board, you collect the coins from that. And the end of that goes until all the cards have been dealt with. But because you've discarded a hand, it's going to force turnovers, right? Because not all the cards are in play. So you go through the sequence from low to high, suit to suit, or black and red, I guess. And once that's done, some of the spaces on the board will have been cleared out. Usually you don't clear all of them because some of them are harder to get than others.
You getting over this, Ben? We're gonna have to play this on AFK, you know.
It's a fun game. It really is enjoyable.
It sounds like you
I mean, I could actually see like next time if you ever are in town on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
you should totally play it.
So please play Mahjong first.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
Like I want all of us to get hairnets and cigarettes and like this is
Dirty
tops,
white t-shirts.
and just like shout at the top of our lungs at each other.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that'd be really great. We also have to play it in somebody's back room.
I feel like
It won't stream well.
The harshest lighting. It's like the prop room.
Screams.
So
we have to play
Oh,
in
wait,
the prop
hair
room,
club.
crowded around a tiny collapsible card
No, I
table.
don't know.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I couldn't ever play
So,
because my attention span.
to finish the round,
Yeah.
you play through until all the cards are played. The person who runs out of cards in their hand first wins the round. They collect their pay cards from what they have played. They get the pot from the middle of the table. That goes to them, and then everybody antes up a game. And so, the sequence portion of the board, which is a 7, 8, 9 in any suit, but it has to be in one suit. Typically,
Andre,
just
you have a mahjong table?
Of course.
Sorry.
typically just piles up, and you play until everybody is broke, and you score it out at the end of the game with every player has to pay back the 50 coins that they got from the bank at the beginning of the game, and the winner is the person who has the most coins left over when you're done. But it's a fun game. It's a fun game. It is legitimately a fun game.
I was really hoping that
legitimately
you
never played Rummoli.
It's
No.
And as one person in the chat mentioned, the best part of it is your entire family getting sloppy drunk and yelling at each other for the entire evening.
Nice. All right.
I was really hoping that you were going to say it's like, okay, then like after you play the poker thing and then you all count up like in Rummy, and I was hoping that at the end you're like, okay, and so then whoever wins that round, you then play a game of chess.
I thought musical chairs was gonna happen.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Okay, so Homestuck is a multimedia adventure.